I'm living the best life I can, and I wish 90% more of the population could feel that at one point or another, because the world would be a better place because of it.
I think so. I agree.
It's interesting. I feel like this is an interesting, like, psychological thing to explore for one more beat. I mean, you also simultaneously are terrified when you're playing a solo if you haven't played for a while, right? So it's like we're attracted to this thing that lets us be the fullest, expression of who we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the fullest artistic form that we can in this live setting. But simultaneously, it can also be, and this goes away the more that you play. And this is coming from a guy that hadn't played out for a long time, but I just remember going through all the motions of this. If we played consistently, the nerves went. But when we didn't, if months went by when we had to retrain a new drummer, for instance, and then we go back to that first couple of shows, very nervous. I got very, very nervous. And it's like terrifying, but it's also like crossing that threshold of feeling alive. Yeah. And then hopefully after that second song, you get 2 songs in, as long as nothing's like going haywire, you're in.
You're back in.
And then that's what you wanted to be at. Like you're there. But it is interesting that we're like there. I guess it's a bit of there's adrenaline. There's a desire for like you feel alive because you have to be in the moment, because you're between your nerves and your desire for fulfillment all happening at once. It's a really interesting dynamic, but it's not.
There's endorphins. There's endorphins too, because there's that euphoric state because it is a high when you're up there, and it's a high that people who do it chase it. That's why. That's why I'm 40 and I still do it, and why Maynard James Keenan just turned 61 and he's still playing in 3 bands and touring every year. It's just totally. you don't once it's in you don't stop, and it's
fucked up, man. It's just,
and it makes life hard sometimes. But it makes life
really
better.
There's really nothing else like it, man. It's this crazy, for me anyway. It's like this. It's a walking a really thin line of full blown self expression and like releasing that from yourself, like in a public state where you can hopefully make somebody else feel whatever it is that you were feeling while you were writing or portraying that music. But then it's the thin line of not only all of that like self-expression, but this terrifying feeling that what if I convey it in the wrong way, or if I fuck it up in the middle of trying to display this for somebody. So that instead of feeling what I'm feeling, they're getting this fucked up,
confused.
I made a mistake of how I was trying to portray this for you, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I don't tell them that part.
I don't know how else to
leave that part
explain
out.
that, but I mean,
I mean,
that's
I identify with that.
But I'm feeling the best I've ever felt in my life, trying to like express my art, but at the same time, if I fuck up, I'm gonna feel worse about it than what I'm saying. It's like I just picked a puppy or something. You know what I mean? It's like it's a really weird kind of double-edged sword in a way.
Yeah, and well, the other side of it, the other side is 99% of the time when you're up there and you fuck up, like, oh, I screwed this up. The people watching.
No idea.
Absolutely no clue. They're drinking, they're having fun, they love the music, they're watching it. Now, from a perspective of yourself, every part of the song, front and back, everything, and you screwed it up. And maybe if they're in the crowd, and this is kind of like at the like a local scene level, right? Maybe in the crowd there's 2 or 3 people out there who know it front and back, who might know. 2 or 3 people out of 300 people might catch it. And it's like, you can't beat yourself up too bad, but you will, because in your head, it was catastrophic. But in the bigger scheme of things, like it's so inconsequential. And like, that's what I had to do, is kind of like my mind just shuts it off. If I fuck up, great. I get an opportunity to do something stupid or make a silly face about it and acknowledge and keep going and just have fun.
When you say that you're your worst critic, I mean, that is like some of the truest statement I've ever heard in my life. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody's going to look at you as hard, you know, as you are yourself. You know what I mean? That's, if that makes sense. It's like I'm harder on myself than probably anybody else. But I have to be, because how else are you going to try to push yourself to be better? You know what I mean? Does that make sense too? You know what I mean? It's like you're hard on yourself for a reason, but you got to have some leeway there too.
It comes with being driven. It comes with being driven. You want to do great things. You want to be the best that you can, and you don't want to accept failure of any type like that, which it's not a failure, but it's, you know, it's just part of it. And it's going, things are going to get derailed, and it's, you handle it appropriately in your mind. You beat yourself up a little bit, you get back up and keep going. And that's improvement.
Absolutely. 100%.